Hey y'all, today we're making some easy 2-ingredient fudge. Okay, so the first one that we're making is sort of a Reese's fudge. So you're going to need 16 ounces of peanut butter and 16 ounces of chocolate frosting. Now, if you accidentally grab the frosting that is like a 14 ounce container, because they do have some that are different sizes, just make sure that however much frosting you're using is the same amount of peanut butter that you're using, so everything will set up right. So go ahead and remove the seals off of both of these, and because they're both metal, just be really careful, or they're full, and that you don't put any of this little foil stuff in the microwave. So you're going to need to heat these for 1 minute each, okay? So put your peanut butter in, heat it for a minute, then we're going to pour it right into this bowl. It's nice and liquidy. It's going to pour out real easy for you. And then just take a little rubber, whatever you have, or a spoon, whatever you got, and just scrape any of that remaining peanut butter out of your jar. And that way we can make sure that we get all the yummy goodness. Now, while we're doing that, have your frosting heating. Now, be very careful with the frosting because the container is a lot more flimsy and you don't want to end up squeezing it and it overflowing all over your hand, or just burning yourself on the container because it's a lot thinner. So just be real careful. But you're going to microwave those for 1 minute each, okay? Once you get them all microwaved and you put them in your bowl, you're going to go ahead and whisk these up to get it all good and mixed up, okay? And look at there, y'all. Look at that fancy new whisk. I feel like such a grown-up. I'm such a grown-up, y'all. So just take your little whisk, or your big whisk in this case, and just mix it all together. Now, you can do these, if you don't want to do like a Reese's, if you don't like chocolate or whatever, you can use vanilla frosting, and this will just be like a peanut butter fudge. You can add nuts, you can add sprinkles, however you want to do it. There's so many different ways that you can do it. So once everything is good and combined, go ahead and pour it over into a parchment lined pan. And I think this is like a 9x9 or something. I don't know, an 8x8 pan, just a square pan, whatever size you have will be just fine. Then you're going to get it smoothed out the best that you can, because whatever it looks like when it goes in the refrigerator is what it's going to look like when it comes out, okay? So just try to smooth it out. Make it as pretty as you can, okay? So the next one that we're going to make is also going to be 2 ingredients, but we're going to use different ingredients. This time we're going to use 1 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk and 3 cups of chocolate chips, okay? So if you've never worked with sweetened condensed milk before, just be aware it is very sticky. Very sticky. So you're going to have to, it'll pour out of the jar or out of the can, but it'll take a year. So just get you a little something and just help it along, scoop it on out of there, okay? So the other part of this one, what I'm doing now, you could do something different if you want. I'm going to use chocolate chips. You could use white chocolate chips if you wanted to. Whatever, butterscotch, you can use whatever flavor you want, okay? So you're going to need 3 cups. Now, I thought I had 2 bags, but I only had 1. So I ended up having to use a combination of milk chocolate and semi-sweet chocolate. Now, it does have a little bit more, when I did it, it had a little bit more of a dark chocolate taste because of the semi-sweet chocolate chips. See how the big ones are lighter, they're the milk chocolate, and the other ones are darker? But you know what? It's okay. It's just a matter of taste. So you're going to put your condensed milk in the microwave for 1 minute. Once it comes out, be careful, it's nice and hot. Go ahead and dump all your chocolate chips right over into it. And just stir it up a little bit. It's going to go ahead and start to melt on you, if you can see that, because the milk is so hot. So your chocolate chips are going to start melting, but just mix it up just a little bit, the best you can. And then we're going to pop this in the microwave for 30-second increments. Now I had to do it twice, so it only took me a minute, but don't just leave it in there for a minute solid. After 30 seconds, take it out and stir it, because everybody's microwave is different and you don't want to scald or scorch or burn or whatever it does in the microwave. Y'all know what I mean. So all you're wanting to do is just get your chocolate chips melted, okay? So however long that takes you, shouldn't take long, because your milk is already hot and, it doesn't really take long to melt chocolate anyway. So get it mixed up really, really well. Now I'm going to add some pecans to mine. You do not have to add pecans to yours if you don't want to or you don't like them. You could add peanuts. You could add walnuts. You could add whatever you want to, or you don't have to add them at all. I like a lot of pecans when I make stuff, so I ended up adding, I think, almost a whole cup of pecans to this. And as you can see as I'm stirring this is a lot thicker than the peanut butter and frosting one. Now they're all going to set up just fine, but just know that this is a little bit of a, it's still like soft enough to eat, all that kind of stuff. It's not hard, but it's a little bit harder than the first one that we made. So then you're just going to get this in your pan. Once you get everything mixed together, put it in your parchment lined pan, and then you're going to just smooth that out the best that you can. It's, like I said, it's a little bit thicker, so it's a little bit harder to smooth out, but that's why I got my little spatula out here, because I could just kind of press it and smooth it out, because I wanted it to be beautiful. Not really. I just wanted it to look all right, So then once I got this all done, like I had not added enough pecans already, I went ahead and added just a few more to the top, and then I took my little rubber spatula or silicone, and then I just kind of pressed them down into the chocolate just a little bit, so that when it sets up, the pecans don't just fall off the top. Then I refrigerated both of these for about 5 hours. Now this is our first one, our Reese's one, when it came out of the refrigerator. See, it's all nice and set, but you can see all my little marks, the little swirly marks on top are there. So if you're one of those people that wants the top to look perfect, just take a little bit more time when you're smoothing out the top, before you put it in the fridge. So then all you have to do at this point, y'all, is just take you a big old knife or whatever you have, and then cut this, excuse my hair. I didn't have my hair up in my messy bun. You're just going to cut it into squares. How big that you want the squares is how big you're going to cut these. But this is what it looks like on the inside. It's nice and soft. And when I tell y'all this tasted just like a Reese's peanut butter cup, it absolutely does. If you don't make nothing else, you got to make these. You got to make them. They're delicious and they're so dang easy. So this is our second one. And like I said, this one had set up a little bit harder than the first one. But don't let me about to break my wrist off trying to cut these scare you, because what happened was I had grabbed a different knife and I didn't realize that I had already cut through, and I was just trying to cut through the dang cutting board. But that's what that one looks like when it's all nice and done. And you just cut these into little squares. Now, I have kept mine in the refrigerator since I made them. Or I kept them in the refrigerator just because I kind of liked them cold, but you don't have to. But if your house is warm, then soft chocolate may not be the best thing to just have sitting out on the counter. You know what I mean? But y'all, these are delicious. This tastes just like a chocolate fudge with pecans in them. The other one tastes just like a darn Reese's cup. But you can use different kinds of frosting. But I don't know if I said this. Don't use whipped frosting and don't use cream cheese frosting. Those will not set up right. But any other ones, fair game, up for grabs. You can make these any flavor you want. If y'all have made these before and you've made a different flavor, let me know down in the comments, because I would love to make some more of these. But that is all I've got for y'all today. I will catch y'all on the next one. Bye, y'all.